Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the M41 Bulldog. This is an American Tier 7 light tank, and the map is Malinovka. As you can see, it is a spotting attempt. And this is a very dangerous one. We have an ally who came across the field who could have spotted me. And you can see that my ally behind me retreated. Make a little bit of a change, but that's basically how you begin the spotting attempt, and you're going to see it exactly as I saw it when I played the game. This was an attempt, I believe, to spot 5,000 hit points of damage. I did not succeed in this game, but I did succeed in another game on this map, spotting from the opposite team. So basically, the key is to get to this middle field, and be aware that you can get to this middle area from either base. You don't have to just do it from the northwest base. From the southern base, you can also make it to this middle field. There's a video where I do it with the Tetrarch. Basically, the key is to just sit here and remain quiet as long as possible. You don't want to attract any attention to yourself. You want to limit the amount of firing that you do. I would say don't do any firing unless you're really, really, really good at it. And you want to get that score to the point where it's around 7 or 8 kills for your team. Once you can see that T-29 just took a hit, whenever that happens, I'm getting credit for it in terms of spotting. And then what's going to happen is once we get to around 7 kills, I'm going to advance forward to the houses in front of me. There's always a chance that one of my allies might also advance. So we've got the KV-3, we've got the T-29. A lot of my team did leave the base, so we don't have enough people firing. That was an artillery shot that came in. I get the credit for that, and I get the credit for that shot also. Okay, so I got all the hit points from that tank that was destroyed, which is, I believe, a KV-3. And I got half for the T-29, but it's not enough to get me up to the 5,000 that I need. Now, what's going to happen is, usually, if it's safe to go, one of your allies will probably advance forward. It looks like, according to the minimap, he's not doing that. It looks like he's actually retreating. Okay, so we've got another tank that showed up. It looks like it might be an SU-152 or an ISU-152. And he is also right behind the base. You can see an artillery shot just went in on him. Now, once the spotting starts to dry up, you really have to make this determination. I would say that I didn't spot that many vehicles. I have the coated optics and the binocs, and I probably have recon. I might not have situational awareness because this vehicle might not have a radio operator. That's an easy tank for my allies to hit. I'm sure that they'll hit him. You have to be very patient. And using these types of techniques, you can actually really turn the tide in the game. You can get a lot of kills. I've had a lot of games that were 15-0. The problem is that the enemy moved away from their base very quickly at the beginning. You can see on the minimap, my team never even made it to the hill. They never made it there because they were taking so many shots at those enemy tanks at their base. You can see that the Comet, my ally, has advanced forward. Once he does that, that's usually around the time that I'm probably going to advance also. Number one, he's going to take spotting damage away from me, and number two, he's going to distract the enemy when I do my advance. Nobody got any shots on that tank, unfortunately. The Comet is heading out into the SPG area. So now I'm going to advance to the house. You want to stay, obviously, to the south. There's a T-29. And you just want to park it. You want to make sure you don't stay near an open window where someone might shoot at you. Let your allies... Obviously, I could have shot at him using the sniper mode. I took a chance and didn't. But you want to let your allies hit those tanks as much as possible and do the work for you. Now, right now I'm spotted, so you have to wait a couple of seconds to become unspotted, and then you're going to roll into a bush to see if you can spot that T-29. So right now we got to wait to become unspotted. You want to keep moving so that the RD doesn't hit you. You can see the T-29 is aimed right at me. But as long as he's spotted, I don't have to go anywhere. And you can see that when I did advance to the bush, I was spotted. So the T-29 does know that I'm there, and I would not have been unspotted. He would have shot at me and killed me. I got hit by an artillery. You can see that the gun on the T-29 is no longer aimed at me. He's now aiming in a different direction. So I could sneak out and take a shot at him if I wanted to. You can see the score is 6-11. They obviously came after us pretty hard. I don't know how we lost the game, but at this point in the game, you have to fight.
Ammo storage is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow. The main gun is destroyed.
Now, basically, with this type of situation, it's me, there's a T-29 and an SPG. You can't expect that you're going to get more spotting damage. You know, they're fighting for their lives over at the base. You have to be aware of what's going on, and there comes a point where you have to go out and fight. You know, you want to go after their SPGs, and it looks like there's 4 T-29s on the enemy team.
We've fixed the main gun, but it's still not very accurate.
I'm heading away from the T-29.
Target acquired.
Trying to go after their SPGs.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Okay, so the plan was to head for their SPGs because they would be easier targets. And then walk around the field and try and sneak up on everybody one by one. They would have capped us and we would have lost the game. But that shows the technique. The reason why it didn't work is because I didn't spot enough tanks. I did spot, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, but you really want to spot like 9 tanks or something like that. It's possible that it's because of my range might be a little bit limited, but I'm pretty sure the reason why is because they probably left the base very quickly and headed for that hill. And we did lose the game because, you know, my team was focused on hitting the tanks that I spotted, so they never went to the hill for battle. And what happened was when the enemy came around the hill, our team was focused on the enemy camp, and they weren't focused on tanks shooting at them. So that's the type of thing that happens, and this is an example of how you can change the game for the worse. It does happen sometimes. Okay, so that's the M41 Bulldog. If you want to know how much damage I spotted, it should be in the title for the video. The map is Malinovka. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.